Hello guys and welcome to ranking every location in Warzone. In particular, we're going to be ranking every named location in Warzone. Every unnamed location will be in another list, which I'm quite excited to do because I actually love some certain unnamed locations. Anyway, this list is pretty opinion based. It's kind of factual in terms of some stuff, but it's quite opinion based, so do take it with a grain of salt. If one of your favourite locations is quite low down on this, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. You can still land there. I mostly play with squads and everything, so I'm not basing this on solo play. And yeah, I'm going to be basing it on the amount of loot in the location, how easy the loot is to access, the number of people that drop there, and the location on the map. Now that you know all that, we'll start off with number 20. And number 20 is Park. Park is just a weak location. I mean, it's quite spread out. There's not really a lot there to even get. And it's in an okay location on the map, but it's just not great for anything else in terms of loot. And next, at number 19, we got Dam. Now, I have a personal vendetta against Dam. I absolutely hate this location. It's the worst place for a circle to end. It's such a dumb part of the map. I really do hope they take it out, and I hope another location like this does not come up in the next map that they have, Urzikstan, when that's out. Because this is just, I just seriously despise this location. And in the actual Dam area, so the actual Dam, and then the area below it where there's those buildings which you'll see on screen, in terms of loot, it's quite bad, and actually getting up to the top of Dam and trying to loot up there is, like, well, impossible. You have to go all the way around, and it's ridiculous. There are some, like, houses around which are, like, really good, but I'd count those as separate unnamed locations, which, as I said, are in a separate list. But Dam itself is just not great in terms of loot, in my opinion, and in terms of location on the map, it's quite far off the map. I mean, the circle seems to end here quite a lot, but it's quite far off top left corner of the map, so if the circle's, anywhere close to the middle, it can be a little bit annoying to get to it, and especially if it's on the if the circle's all the way over at Farmland or Prison, you can't really land here. And yeah, it's just not a great location, especially in terms of loot, if we're confining ourselves just to the Dam area. But yeah, it's just not a great location. What my personal least favourite on the map, just because of circles ending here. And yeah, anyway, we're going to go on to the next one. Next, at number 18, we've got Prison, and a lot of people I feel like will hate me for this, because I know quite a lot of people, surprising to me, land Prison, but I also dislike Prison quite a lot. I think it's really bad in terms of its location on the map, and in terms of looting it, it is super annoying. There's the whole gulag area below and everything, you can run to there, but by the time we've ran down and looted it all and everything, you then have to run all the way back up, and I feel like that's just quite a task. And all the upper area, or this outside area, I find quite confusing and quite annoying to run around and loot and everything. Some areas you can go through, some areas you can't. It's super annoying, and yeah, I don't think it's a great location on the map. Quite a few people land here, but I find it a bit awkward to fight in Prison, to be honest. There's not really a good part of it that I like fighting in. And yeah, it's just not a great location for me. And anyway, yeah, we're going to be hopping on to the next one. Next, at number 17, we've got Stadium. Now, I know Stadium's not amazing for loot, but Stadium's location on the map is brilliant. And running around Stadium is a little bit annoying, do not get me wrong. I do find it quite annoying running around like the little inner parts of Stadium. But by the time you run around all of it, you can actually get quite a lot of loot. There's a lot of loot spawns around this little area of Stadium, so you can actually build up your cash incredibly quick. And there's a few tiny little outer areas. They're not quite unnamed location areas, but there's a few outer areas you can kind of get to, and there's more loot locations. There's like an not quite garage, but it's like where you would drive to park in a garage, like it's cut off, but there's like 5 loot spawns in that one little spot. So yeah, a stadium's actually a great location for loot. It's a great location on the map, so straight after the stadium you can run somewhere else to grab stuff, and there's like 3 buy location spawns in this place, so it's very unlikely you're ever going to go stadium and not have a nice little buy location on you, which I do feel like is quite handy. And it's a not horrible to fight in, but it's not great to fight in if people are on the other side of the metal bars. Those metal bars are so horrible to fight against. Sometimes bullets hit people perfectly, sometimes they just disappear. But yeah, Stadium is an alright location. I love its location on the map and where you can branch off afterwards. And yeah, we're moving on to the next one. Then next, at number 16, we've got Farmland. Now, a lot of people, I think, like this location and everything, but I'm just not a big fan of it. I feel like if other people land here, which does happen quite often, it's annoying to try and loot up first before fighting people. You normally might have a house or 2 to yourself to be able to like loot up and everything, so getting cash and everything before fighting is quite difficult. And then moving from house to house is quite bad because of the whole open areas and everything, and people who land at this location seem to normally just sit in houses and look out the windows and wait for you. I find that I just die from those random windows and everything when I go to this location, just when I'm trying to move around to either find people or to loot up to get enough cash for a loadout and stuff like that. And it's on the far right side of the map, so it's quite annoying to rotate from if the circle's on the left side or the top left of the map especially. And yeah, it's just not, for me, a great location at all. It's a bit too spread out and everything, a bit too annoying to loot. And yeah. Number 15, we have got Lumber. Now, Lumber's alright location, quite medium, kind of okay. Not a lot of bad to say about it, not a lot of good to say about it either. Far right side of the map, so if there's any circle on the left side of the map, it's quite annoying to rotate from. In terms of loot, it's okay at best. There's the big building that connects to the other building and everything, and there's the second big building, which is kind of alright for loot, and yeah, it's just quite mediocre. I don't hate Lumber, but I definitely don't really like it as a location to land at. I don't really like landing here, and yeah, that's all I can really say for Lumber, to be honest. Next, at number 14, we've got Port. Now, Port, again, is alright. The vacant area and the other building that's in the middle is both okay, very decent for loot. Vacant's actually quite good for loot. And the big blue building is also alright for loot, but the main gripe I have with this location is its locations on the map is okay. It's a little adjacent to the middle, which is fine, but the worst thing about this for me is the giant cranes. People that get up on these cranes and then sit up on them and then shoot at you are extremely annoying. So just the cranes alone put this quite low down on the list, to be honest. There's not a lot else worse with it, it's just these cranes are painful to go against. And next on the list, we've got Hills. Now, for some reason, so many people land at Hills. The little house neighbourhood and everything, that just is always so busy. And the loot there is just not worth how busy it is. And because it's houses, and people just sit in houses, shooting out the windows, or sit in corners of the houses, it's horrible to fight in. Because people do just sit in the corners of these houses. I don't know why so many people go here, because the loot's not that great. But yeah, it's just, yeah, it's alright on the map. It's not amazing location on the map. It's quite far down at the bottom of the map, so if the circle's at the top anywhere, it's really annoying to rotate from. And yeah, it's just, I don't know why, but loads of people always land here. It's so annoying to fight in. The loot's not worth it, so even if you come out on top, you're still probably going to have to loot for a loadout, to be honest. I never get that much cash from here. That might just be my unlucky experiences, but yeah, this location is just not worth the hassle, in my opinion. And next we've got Hospital. Now this is the locations where I don't hate them or have much of a problem. They're all quite middle of the ground. This is just going into pure personal preference for me. Now Hospital is in a great location on the map, and it actually has very, very good loot as well. Main thing about this is quite a lot of other people land here. It's quite a popular location. The main roof is quite fun to go for. The little chopper down below is quite fun to battle people for and everything. But the issue is that quite a lot of other people land here, and these other people can really mess you up. So some people might just sit on the middle main building, and some people do just sit and watch the elevators, which is the only way to get up, and that is really frustrating to go against. And all the inside areas and everything, there's a lot of areas people can just sit in and wait for you and everything, which I've experienced a lot of times, which is very annoying. So the actual location itself is great, but the way some people do play this area makes it quite an annoying location for me to land in. It's very rare that me and my team will come out of Hospital all without dying, unless no one else lands there. And next we've got Train Station. Again, not a lot of things I hate about Train Station, but I just prefer everything else that I've got on the list. I just prefer the other locations to land at. Train Station I can find quite annoying, like landing on the roof and everything. There's a few loot spawns out there, which is alright. Down below there's a few as well, but it's mostly like the houses that like kind of like layer on the outside, which are all quite good. And yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot about Train Station. The actual just Train Station area has quite a lot of loot spawns, and it's great, and it's not too bad to fight in. I don't absolutely hate it, and the trains themselves actually have loads of loot in. Just run along there, you'll probably get a lot of cash. So Train Station is just a great spot. It's just, for me, I don't love landing here all the time. And yeah, there's not a lot bad to say about it. It's a very good location, very decent location on the map, easy to rotate to, no matter really where the circle is. So yeah, this is actually a very good location. Alright, now we're cracking into the top 10, and my top 10th place has got to be Storage Town. Now, Storage Town isn't amazing for loot. I will admit it's not as good as some of the other locations, but its location on the map is just great. There's so many locations that you can rotate from here to fight more people, such as Boneyard, the pool house, the car park, the gas station to the right, then Superstore. It's a brilliant location to rotate from, and I actually love fighting in Storage Town. This has got to be one of my favourite locations to fight in. It's just so fun to fight in this little area, hopping up on like top of the house, top of the garages and everything. It's just great. This location is just so much fun for me. I love landing here just as a fun thing to land at. It's great. And most of the time, you're probably going to get a loadout and everything, but the loot isn't amazing here. It's just its location and fighting in it. That's the two things I absolutely love about this place. Number 9, we've got Airport. Now, Airport is an amazing, amazing location for loot. It's in a pretty amazing spot on the map. And yeah, it's an absolute amazing location. However, the actual roof area of Airport, where you'll see me landing in this gameplay, if people land here and get guns, they can just stay up here. There is no way you can get to them without getting to a chopper, and people can just stay up here and shoot you. And it is very annoying. I absolutely hate that this airport roof exists, and also the airport control tower. That tower is one of the worst places in the game. Whoever designed that is... Oh, I can't believe that thing exists in this game. It only has one elevator up to it, and people can just camp it and kill you very easily. So yeah, this has 2 spots in the map which are basically impossible to get to. One without a chopper, and the other, if anyone's there, there's no way you're ever pushing it. So if a circle's ending around it, you're kind of screwed. And yeah, the little car park area is brilliant to land at, and the actual inside airport area itself is really good, and the plane's really good. But these two spots on it just ruin it for me, to be honest. They just make it really, really bad, because people can just sit in these locations and really mess your day up. Next at number 8, we've got Quarry. Now, Quarry is a really good location for loot. It is a very nice location to loot as well. All the big, long buildings and everything, they're very easy to run through and loot very quickly. You can get a lot of cash very quickly in this location. It's very good. It's a bit far up the top right of the map. It's the furthest location top right of the map, so it's a bit annoying to rotate from, especially if the circle's closer to the bottom of the map, especially the bottom left. But in terms of loot, this location is brilliant. Quite a lot of people do land here though and everything, and it can be very annoying to fight in the buildings because it's hard to know where people are. They're quite dark and everything, but otherwise it's so good for loot that it just puts it so far up this list. This location is amazing to loot. You're guaranteed a loadout every single time, even if a couple other teams even land here. So yeah. Then, at number 7, we have got Military Base. Now, this place is also amazing for loot, and it's actually quite a fun location to fight in. All the bunkers and everything are a little spread out, so these parts of it are quite annoying to loot, but just from these locations alone, you can actually get a lot of loot, so you don't even have to land into the core military base area. You can just land in these areas and get really good loot as well. So this location is brilliant in terms of that. It's quite far at the top of the map, so if the circle's at the bottom of the map at all, it's quite annoying to rotate from. But there is a chopper spawn here, and there's a truck spawn or 2 here as well, so it's quite easy to rotate in terms of that. However, a lot of people do land here, so I've seen a lot of teams that land here, so it can be very annoying to fight this many people and everything, especially because of how much space there actually is that people can go to, and there's lots of little spots that people can sit in to shoot you from. But yeah, otherwise this location is really good, and it is a very good spot that I like to land in. It's one of my favourite spots to land in that is very far from the middle. Then at number 6, we've got Promenade West. Now, Promenade West is amazing for loot. I think you can easily get a loadout extremely quickly in this location, and it is very good. Main issue with it is just people that sit on top of the roofs. That's literally it. I wouldn't say there's any other downsides to this location, to be honest. It's a decent spot on the map. Not amazingly in the middle, but close enough to where you can easily rotate from. And there's a lot of buildings where you can just get a lot of loot from, and it's great. But people that sit on the red roof and everything is the main issue. Otherwise, this location is just pretty damn good. Now we're cracking into the top 5. We've got downtown. Now, to fight in, because of all the rooftops, I absolutely hate downtown, but I can't ignore how good the location is in terms of map location and how good it is for loot. You can loot up any part of downtown, like any little corner, and you'll probably get enough for a loadout. If you looted the entirety of downtown, you'd probably come out with like a ridiculous amount of cash. I'd probably say close to 100k in terms of cash if you manage to loot every single part of downtown, if not more. This location has so much to it. It's so dense. There are so many little spots to get loot from, so many little buildings, so many doors and everything. But main issue is people that set up on top of buildings. This can be very, very annoying. However, it's quite, because of all the buildings, it's quite easy to hide from these people. So it's quite easy just to run in a quick doorway and just get away from them and stuff. But actually fighting them and actually pushing people on roofs is really painful to do. It is very painful to do. So I don't really like this place to fight. I like to go here if I just want to get looted up, get my load out, and then kind of push other areas. Like downtown, I like to stay clear of for fighting. But in terms of loot, this place is brilliant. If there's a scav here in like a little corner or anything and you land it back in, you can land on that scav and you're going to get your friends back and probably a loadout as well by the time you've looted everything. Then at number 4, we've got TV Station. Now, TV Station is a great location. You can get very looted up from here. The chopper spawn and everything is very handy for rotating, although most of the time you're going to get people that land on it and take the chopper and stuff, which is quite a big issue with this. And yeah, this is a great spot to get looted up, and you have a buy zone that can spawn right outside there, although it is in a very annoying location. You're very exposed when you go to that buy zone. But one of the issues with it, I find, is that say if you got here on your own or you won the fight here and there wasn't a buy zone there, the other buy zones near you, in the little neighbourhood area and the little built up area, most of the time people are probably going to be there. So you're going to be coming into contact with people that are already probably looted up as well, maybe even have their load out first because they have the buy zone next to them. So if there's not a buy zone here, in terms of other buy zones, they're quite annoying to get to. There is the one up north where there's a little house of the buy zone, so that is a definite possibility, but then people land in that little area up there as well. So if this doesn't have a buy zone, you are kind of screwed because it only has that one decent location. Otherwise, there's not really another decent location for you to rotate to. And if people sit in the little under area of TV Station as well, this can be annoying to fight in if people hide behind the desk and everything, but most of the time this isn't much of an issue. Most of your fights are probably going to be on the rooftops and on the outside anyway. Now we're into the top 3. At number 3, I've got Promenade East, and the reason this is so much higher than Promenade West is because there's a lot more to loot here. There's a lot more buildings to get loot from and everything. You can get kitted from here, guaranteed very quickly. And the issue with Promenade West about the red roofs is still quite prominent here. However, in Promenade West, there's only one red roof, so that one red roof, if someone sits on it, is really dominant, whereas here, there's like 4 or 5. Or more even. There's quite a lot all along East and everything, which can be more annoying because more people can sit on them, but also it means that you can counter people by getting on the building yourself. So yeah, but in terms of loot, this place is brilliant. In terms of location on the map, this place is brilliant. And even if people sit on these roofs, it's really easy to avoid them because you can just run on the other side of buildings and everything, or stay under them and stuff. So yeah, this location's absolutely brilliant. I land here quite often, especially in the little bank area because the bank always has more cash. And yeah, this is a great spot. Absolutely love this location. Then at number 2, I've got Boneyard. Boneyard is an amazing location. Now, in terms of location on the map, it's not amazing, especially if the circle's on the right side of the map. But in terms of loot, this location's really good. Quite a few people land here, so you'll probably pick up quite a few kills whilst you're here. And it's a really fun location to fight in with all like the planes and everything like that. And it's quite a lot of open area. There is the warehouse in the middle where people can camp in the top rails of the warehouse, which is annoying. But I rarely find that people will even camp up there, especially at the start. So it's not too bad. And yeah, and there's like 3 buy zone location spawns here. So no, 4 actually, 4. Sorry, and so there's no way you're ever going to not have a buy zone here. You're guaranteed it every time, and you can get so much loot from here. There's always a million contracts that spawn here. This location is just brilliant in terms of loot, in terms of everything. It's a good location on the map. It's a good fun location if you're wanting to get a decent amount of kills as well. And yeah, but Boneyard is just brilliant. Then at number 1, we've got Superstore, the tilted towers of Warzone, really. This location is phenomenal in terms of loot. You'll get disgusting amounts of cash here if you come out on top of it. But there's guaranteed to be quite a few people here, so be ready for that. It's quite a battle here, but you'll get so much loot from it. It's very worthwhile if you come out on top, and you can come out on top with a lot of kills. There's a reason pros land here every single game. This location is just brilliant, and it's so much fun, and it will get your game and combat skills at the start up a lot. Anyway, yeah, this is my rankings list. Obviously, if you have a different opinion, you have a different opinion. Let me know in the comments. But this was a lot of fun to make, and it's quite interesting how it's turned out. So, like and subscribe, guys. I really hope you enjoyed, and see you later. Cheers.